Good morning. Mind does arise without abiding. As we patiently polish the mirror of our mind, it becomes clear. From the first, there is not one thing. One way of expressing this not one thing is our original face, our true countenance or face, not putting on a face, as we say, for others or for ourselves, but manifesting our original face and the original face of everything. Bernhard has just mentioned that you have lovely weather today, and I know what it is like during the breaks to take a walk around the lovely green grounds of the Domicilium. There's an expression, a Zen expression I like very much that comes to mind, arises in my mind when I hear what a lovely day, what lovely weather you have. The expression is, a bird sings and the mountain stillness deepens. A bird sings and the mountain stillness deepens. You see how this is a natural, in nature expression of mind arises without abiding. There was an earlier poem which went, no bird sings, literally not one bird sings, the mountain stillness deepens. Then later, just by changing that one Chinese character from the negative to positive, it became, a bird sings, the mountain stillness deepens. Do you see what this means in our practice? When a motorcycle goes by or a bird sings, it doesn't really disturb our stillness or the silence. If it does, it's not true stillness, is it? It's not true silence, is it? It's just a temporary lull. But if it is genuine, no matter how much noise, confusion arises, the mountain stillness deepens. It is simply an expression of that stillness in sound. Once again, the sound of a bird, lovely, wonderful, or the pain in your knee, does not really break the stillness or the silence. If it's genuine, how to say it, it is simply giving expression to that stillness, that silence. There is no opposing position. You see the danger of seeking out some still, quiet place where you are not disturbed. In a way, of course, in beginning practice, it is helpful to find a quiet, peaceful place to practice. One of the reasons you are at the Domicilium now. It is a wonderfully appropriate place. But the point is not to dwell, to abide in some little silent place away from the world. Tomorrow you will be returning to the world. Confirm, see for yourself that this stillness, this peace, this silence cannot be broken. If it can, throw it away. True stillness, true silence cannot be broken. Confirm this for yourself. We began the first day briefly with great trust based on our experience, not blind belief, but based on our experience. In these last several days, at times you may have had deep doubt. I trust you pursued that doubt to the end until there can be no doubt. And I trust that trust that arises then, it cannot be broken, whatever happens. This great trust just continues to grow until you see that it is not separate from the concentration itself. It comes from and returns to the ground itself. It is not something simply in our mind. It is much more fundamental than that. I have said over and over, give all, everything to the practice. And I trust you have tasted the fact that to give all to the practice is the practice of awakening. Half-assed practice, 50% or even 90%, giving ourselves pretty much, but just in case holding back a little bit. Well, this is not practice at all. That is not being able to get there from here, as I mentioned yesterday. You can't get there from here. Half-assed practice is trying to get somewhere. Do you see? That is the fundamental delusion, isn't it? Where do you need to get to? All you need to do is see what is under your feet right here and now. Don't look into it, see it. Then there is no problem with seeking somewhere, something, someone else. To give all of ourselves to the practice is the practice of awakening. It is the practice of compassion, the work of love. I trust this retreat, you have what, a good 24 hours left, huh? To continue that practice to the very end, to the very end. I trust you will make a solid foundation, so to speak, for the lifetime of practice. Maybe after this retreat, you will decide, at least now, this isn't my way. This isn't what I'm into. No, there's other things I need to look into now. It's fine. But you know what this is and what it's about. When you realize this is what must be done, the foundation has already been laid. But if you see that this solid beginning of a lifetime of practice is something you must continue, then you are in very good hands. You have a wonderful sangha, community of like-minded practitioners together. You may know about what are called the offenses or the sins of Buddhism, the really bad stuff, the things that can actually have you removed from the sangha. You are not able to practice in the sangha. If you are a monk, you may have to return your robes. Very serious offenses like killing your mother, and killing your father, killing an arhat, an awakened one, killing or drawing the blood of a Buddha. Serious stuff. But the fifth and most serious sin, so to speak, Buddhist sin, if we speak of it that way, grave sin, is disrupting the unity of the sangha. Isn't that strange? This is worse than killing a Buddha? To maybe have a little disagreement in the sangha? What's wrong with that? To disrupt, to create tension in the community of practitioners. A disagreement, not just a disagreement, but to disrupt, to cause a serious problem in the sangha. This is considered the worst thing to do in Buddhism. But I trust you already have a sense of why this is so, Working and living together for the last week now, you see how marvelous it is to have a like-minded group of people to practice with. Mostly you are in silence, yes, but in that silence, sometimes there is very profound communication, isn't there? And that unity, that oneness of the sangha, the practicing community, is very valuable. You know the three treasures, the Buddha, an awakened one, the Dharma, the living truth, and the Sangha, the community of practitioners. So I urge you to do what you can to preserve the unity of the Sangha, to work together for the benefit of all. If you can, come together sometimes and practice. There are several groups in the München area. If you are not too far away, I hope you will sometimes join and work and practice together for yourself and for the others. This can be a valuable part of your practice. Practicing by yourself sometimes, yes, it's not a social event. Sometimes you should, by all means, sit alone at home if you can for a sustained period. Forget the watch, the clock, the timer, and just sit. But it is also precious, valuable to practice with and for others. So please take this to heart, to preserve, to maintain the unity of this Sangha so that you can practice with and for others. Tomorrow, going back to the world, this is another challenge, but it is a very good one because it requires that you, in a sense, get up from your cushion after a week, to get up from that cushion, clean it off, put it away, and to, so to speak, return to the world. There is the real dojo, the real place of practice. I hate to tell you, but this is the easy part. When you go back to the world, no, you don't need to do the same thing you did here, sitting, 12 or more hours a day. There are other things that need to be done. Friends, family, work, responsibilities, yes, do them with all your heart, just as you have practiced here with all your heart. And you will see, if you have realized something here, it will be there just as well. I challenge you, if you have realized something here, find it there. Find it in your family, in your friends, in your enemies, if you have any, in your work, in the challenges that you will face. There is where this marvelous practice comes alive, comes to life. Although at a distance online, I'm in Kyoto, Japan, but we can be in touch online. So after the retreat, if you feel the need to be in touch, I am here for you. If you don't have it already, you can get my email from Bernhard or someone, and we can be in touch, and then perhaps do Skype or what I call original FaceTime or Zoom, whatever. It's not the same as one-on-one in person, but I trust you have seen this week. It can help. It can help. And I'm here for you. You might want to take a day or two after the retreat. Get back to your workaday world and then see, does this practice really call you or not? If not, well, okay, maybe you can put it aside and maybe it will come back eventually. But if you see this is what must be done, you are in a very good place. Having given yourself for a week, made contact with others, and now, well, from tomorrow, to go back to the world. And of course, when you can, hopefully morning and or evening, practicing in a way that does not disrupt your sangha at home either, your family. Maybe get up before they get up and sit then, so that you can have breakfast together, for example. You don't need to imitate what was going on here at the Domicilium when you go home. When you go home, go home. Find it there. I trust you will see what I mean soon enough. Tomorrow, the last day, I hope to be able to join you for a final Dharma talk. However, I will be traveling, so if I can get to where I'm going and set things up, we will be able to meet again tomorrow for a last Dharma talk. If something doesn't work and I cannot meet you tomorrow, I will be happy to know that I have become completely unnecessary. Today, we have the last chance for the online encounter or one-on-one after the Dharma talk. Please make best use of this precious opportunity. You don't need to bring anything to the one-on-one. It's better not to bring a thing, but certainly to give all of yourself without bringing a thing. It has been wonderful practicing together, seeing all of you socially distanced, often wearing your masks, and yet continuing this practice as best as you can in the present situation. Yes, yes. If it's not alive here and now, it's not alive. And it's wonderful to see you physically coming together like this. I know it must have been quite a challenge, quite some work, some preparation must have been needed. But I trust it has been useful and valuable for yourself and for those around you as well, to practice in silence mostly, but together as one. It's a valuable, precious, marvelous practice. I could only join you a bit, but it has been marvelous indeed. I have enjoyed every moment of it. Please continue giving yourself to the very end of the retreat, then please do take care to return home safely. If you're very tired or sleepy, maybe have a cup of coffee or take a rest before driving or going home. Please do return safely. You may not realize how tired you are, so do take care. I would like to leave plenty of time today for any remaining questions or concerns, just in case I cannot meet you tomorrow. Please feel free, for the benefit of all, to speak up with any practice question or concern that you have. Today, you can also ask about returning to the world, these kinds of questions, as Barbara, I believe, brought up maybe on the second day, working for the environment and so on and so forth. Yes, these are essential questions, concerns as we return to the world. As always, thank you for listening so intently.